Welcome to the second part of my Child of Light Let's Play. Here we have just exited the cave from the end of the first video, and I will soon enter into a surprise attack, which I didn't understand at first, but it seems you just need to use the Firefly, I think he's called Iniglios, to stun the enemy, then get behind it and stop stunning the enemy, and when it get out of stun you basically initiate the surprise attack because you are behind it. That is a requirement for the surprise attack, and it's very easy. Also another thing, you can also use Igniglius in combat to slow the enemy by basically blinding them, as you can see here. Also, it ain't smart to pick those flowers up with the wishes because, well, not smart. It's not smart to pick them up so early because you will need them to recover Igniglius's light power and HP and as a Aurora's HP and what's called mana. So it's a good idea to save them, but it doesn't really mean anything now because enemies are so easy. Also, those wishes, as you see there, I don't really know if there is an idea to collect them, because the only reason seems to be what's it called, what do you call that? Basically to recover Igniglius's life, not life, its light power. It may be possible that the Igniglius's power is, that you recover some HP and mana, so that's the only reason. As you can see, basically the light stuns the enemy, and then, yeah, I didn't understand at first. I thought it maybe was a button press, but it turns out you just need to stun it and stand behind it to initiate the surprise attack. And here you see me collecting the wishes to get his light power back. Of course, it would be much easier later on because, as all games, you learn, and well, that's basically it. Also, the different attacks have what's called cast time. Example, the slashes is a medium cast time, while what is it called, that name? Oh yeah, you can also use Igniglius to open boxes, chests. Yeah, it's called chests. But basically, as I was saying, you can use the different attacks have different cast times. Example, the light ray is a very long cast. So if the enemy is close to you, you may not want to use it, and also certain enemy types doesn't have any weaknesses towards it, like those I would call them mantis. Yes, those mantises doesn't have a vulnerability to them, so it's kind of a waste of mana to use it on them. And also, what is it called? But we will see some enemies where it's really good to use them. There's actually a place, I don't think it's in this video, I think it's gonna be part 3 due to the limitation of Share Factory. You can only, what's it called? It can only edit 20 minutes of gameplay. So I will have to split the part 2 up in 2 pieces, so you basically get a part 3. I hope Sony will get that fixed in a later patch for Share Factory, and also what's it called? get what you call it, get some more themes, because I would have loved to have a Child of Light theme instead of what's it called, the Share Factory, uh, Share Factory theme. And as you saw there in a little bit before, you can actually get interrupted if the enemy casts before you. There's actually a achievement, not achievement, a trophy, or yeah, well, it is a achievement, but well, what you call it is basically, yeah, you all know it. Achievement and trophies is kind of the same, but there is a trophy for interrupting 3 enemies at the same time. I will, of course, be trying to do them just for fun, but excuse me for a moment. I won't, of course, I won't go out of my way to do it because, well, all of those trophies can be done in the post game, so there's no reason to basically stand one place and spend maybe 15 minutes or so trying to get this trophy. And here you see we come to the chapter 2, Queen of Light. Sorry about that, but it's a bit hard to talk for so long. And as always, I explore. I actually like the exploration in this game because you never know if you just get what is it called, if you get just a wish flower, or if you get a chest. But it's a good idea to check both paths, of course. But here you see I uses defense because I don't want to take so much damage. It's also, you can actually also be lucky when you do attack that it even if the boss is cast, you actually doesn't get interrupted because you dodges. That can happen, but I think I only happened for me once, or did I miss? I can't recall. Here we see something. I'm not sure what those oculi is. I would presume those to be what is it called? Gems you put into gear to get a boost, but I'm not sure. And yes, it also you play what's it called, action. So I just earned 30 Uplay points for basically doing nothing. Now, so I love that little what's it called, upgrade grid. It's simple, but still fun. But what do I think about this game so far? It is actually very fun, and some of the enemies, well, they ain't really challenging, but that is because in a future patch, the normal difficulty will be changed to casual, and what's it called, the other one? I have to remember. And hard is changing name to what do you call it? It's changed name to what is it called? What is it called? Expert. So basically that's it. But that I will be linking I'll be linking to a post talking about that in the description, but I find it kind of funny that there's only an expert and a hard one. And here you see what happens if you don't stun them. They basically get the ambush, but you can still, shall we say, protect yourself by using defense if they ain't too fast. And here we see, I think this one is a ghost, so shouldn't it be, what is it called, affected by light? And as you can see, it's vulnerable to light, so it takes increased damage. And man, there ain't really much in this part. And oh man. Yes. Yes, and there can also be more than one enemy at a time. That can happen. And, well, some of the enemies may buff each other. That happens in the third part of the video. And I find that kind of good, because I don't like, shall we say, enemies that just, oh well, we're just together, so let's just do nothing. That is kind of fun. But the rhymes in this game is, sometimes it's, man, I got a shock there, I remember, when that, I don't know if it's a troll or whatever it is, but when it came running, that was like, oh my god, what is that? So I don't know if they intended it to be a shocker, but if they didn't, well, good placement of it. And I think, oh well, maybe it's vulnerable to light because it lives in the darkness, but it doesn't seem to be vulnerable to light. But as I said, you can slow them to get that, shall we say, the time to basically, what's it called? The time to basically get an attack out. As I was saying, this game is pretty easy. But it's fun, and that is the most important thing, and it ain't really that expensive, so it only been a 10-hour game as far as I have been informed, and having only bronze trophies I can accept. It's just kind of sad that there ain't a trophy like defeat the Queen of Darkness or something, or something, defeat the final boss or whatever it's called. Man. I think the next video, or maybe this one, will feature one of the first puzzles. They ain't hard, and they are actually kind of easy, but I don't understand the idea. Games doesn't need to be hard to be fun, but of course being too easy also makes it boring. But I'm coming to an end of this video, so I will see you in the next part, and I hope you have enjoyed this one and will continue sticking with me through the end of this journey. See ya!